Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. One of my easiest ways to figure out if my partner in a debate, conversation, discussion is intellectually sincere, honest, is asking the person two questions regarding two, or at least two questions regarding two issues. And based on the other person's answers, I definitely have an answer if that person is a weasel or not. And those questions are: one, give me a assessment of the Palestinians and Israel, mostly Israel, and the other one is talking about some religious stuff, asking a few questions about, let's say, I don't know, the Bible. And based on those answers, I usually understand if that person has mental freedom, if he's intellectually honest, or he's just tries to play here and there, like unsincere. I have here two senators. I will mention that they are Republicans just for the identification purposes, and I will show you the names and I will show you the faces who failed the test for me. Now they are senators, one of the 100 senators, U.S. senators. So you might think they're very powerful people and should not be really afraid in their position to say what they don't believe in. But hey, they're politicians, unfortunately. But if I say they're politicians, that tells me democracy is garbage, because that means you have to be a weasel in order to win votes by saying what the masses want you to say. But then when you get in power or you get as a senator, you actually lied. You don't do that. So that's something that is very wrong with democracy. So we have here Hawley and Cotton. These are the senators who I personally liked very much. I used past tense. Hawley, especially, Josh Hawley. I watched him in many, many, many videos. The way he, interrogates appointees, Biden appointees, to get a position in the government, and they have to go through a committee. And he asks, yes, a committee, and they have to go through this process. And Josh Hawley, Senator Hawley, very smart, very informed by his staff, because I don't think Hawley is reading while he's now. I think he's just fed, but has a good staff members that are informing him, giving him, and he's very good, very good. And I thought for some time, that ended about a year ago, or waned away. I thought that he is one of the real guys, like for instance, Senator Rand Paul. He is a real guy. But like his father, they were real. These were genuine people. And they are. They are. Not many of them are, who appear to be, but they're not. And these guys, I think they pushed the fucked up button too many times already. Cotton and Hawley. Cotton was a little bit lower than Hawley for me, as intelligence as the way he prepared, the way he came back with answers, counterattacks. Now, what did they do? They are going to demand, or they demanded, Biden, the President of the United States of America, they demand Biden to send National Guard to deploy it at universities in the U.S. because of Gaza protests. If you don't know, Columbia University, I think Yale, Harvard closed its doors for their for the yard, so you cannot. Michigan, University of Michigan has protesters or supporters of Palestinians, and they camp over there and so on. Some of them were arrested and so on. So these guys, these Republicans, call for immediate deployment of National Guard by the Biden administration. What's interesting, they were not so fast in demanding deployment of the National Guard at the U.S. border, for instance. And I'm going to give you, I think that's insincere. I think one of them is from Arizona, and if I remember correctly, and the other one is, it escapes me right now. Arkansas. So one is from Arkansas, the other one is from Arizona. Is it true? No, the other was Missouri. Arkansas and Missouri. My bad. Nevertheless, it doesn't really matter. It could have been from New York. It doesn't really matter. Or Pennsylvania. Securing the border is a national issue, not a Texas or Arizona problem or California problem. So what do we have here? I will show you one of the arguments these intelligent people make in order to have Biden deploy National Guard. And I'm going to tell you, two wrongs don't make it a right. So let me start with the first article coming from The Hill. Hawley Cotton call on Biden to deploy National Guard over Gaza protests at colleges. They are supposed to be the free speech advocates, remember? And the right to protest, because the right to protest is there because that's the way you express your disagreement with some policies. So if they get violent, by all means, they have to be restrained. I totally agree with that. But unless you're going to have a revolution and you have to, like in Ukraine, recognize the coup and then be happy about it, supposedly. Unless it happens here. Here, no. Over there, yes. Why? I don't know. Well, I do know, but we are on YouTube. We can't say certain things. So what happens here? So Senator Hawley, Missouri, and Tom Cotton, Arkansas, called on President Biden on Monday to deploy the National Guard to colleges, particularly Columbia University in New York City, where pro-Palestinian protesters have staged sit-ins and other disruptive activities to focus public attention on the war. Now, if I remember correctly, Columbia is not having in-person classes anymore. They have it online. Okay? They don't have it in person. All right, so, and I'm quoting here, this is the justification coming from Intelligent Hawley. Eisenhower sent the 101st to Little Rock, Arkansas. Remember? That was garbage. But hey, he uses that as a pretext. It's time for Biden to call out the National Guard at our university to protect Jewish Americans, Hawley posted on social media. How about you defend the freedom of speech and let the police take care of its job if things get violent? Now, he makes the argument of 101st Airborne whatever in Little Rock, Arkansas. That was the forced, wasn't that forced whatever? Anyway, so we have this one here. Or it was the Vietnam War. Which one was it? Little Rock. I think it was the forced integration. Wasn't that? Let me check if I remember correctly. Yes, that was the forced integration, because that's the Constitution says. But anyway, let me give you a alternative to Mr. Hawley's argument. And that is, if that was right, then how about using nuclear weapons if that was right in Japan? Let's use, I don't know, napalm bombs like you guys used in Vietnam. How about we lie again about the Vietnamese attack on the Gulf of Tonkin? All those things were done. And besides, the use of nuclear weapons is not considered it's considered a positive thing for the Americans. Yeah, that's how we stopped the war, and so that, according to them, is a good thing. So the same here. He used the 101st Airborne whatever in Little Rock, Arkansas, which he says was good. Then why not? And if it's like that, why don't you send the National Guard, I don't know, to the border? Why didn't you use at the riots at whatever, Black Lives Matter and whatever? No, why not? Did you ask for that then? So for me, that was one of the questions. One of the questions that they answered wrong, and this is one of them that was consistently they answered wrong. Now let's go further, and actually, it's in the article right here. I don't even. I want to read it anyway. Why would I need? I know what I'm about to say when I just read the title. I know where these guys are going. It's so easy. He was referring to former President Eisenhower's decision to call in the 101st Airborne Division to Little Rock, Arkansas in 1957 to ensure the safety of 9 African American students enrolled in Central High School. Don't you have police for that? Okay, so that's one thing. And then Cotton, the other one, I'm going to show you the pictures, called on the Biden administration to break up the pro-Palestinian groups on Columbia's campus if New York government Kathy fails to take control of the situation by deploying the New York National Guard. What do you mean take control? What are they going to do? What do you mean? How many are there? How many police officers you have? Why so fast? Oh, it's a raise in this. I know that actions yield reactions. Maybe you solve the action first and you find out why is this reaction. You just don't stop it here. If you prevent me from speaking out, you will not prevent me from thinking the same shit and from acting without your knowing. So what you do, you push me actually to work not within the system and out in the open. You push people work underneath, which they already are, under the table, to use that kind of expression. These guys protest. Okay, is it illegal? If it's illegal, get the freaking whatever security you got on campus and get them out. If you can't, then you go to the next level. Why don't you call these guys to bomb the whole shit out? You go to the end and you solve the problem just like this. If you send the National Guard. You you don't jump from here to here. That's a chain of events that you have to follow. Like for instance, let's say in the office. Let's say, I know that from the office. This was a training. If let's say you make a improper statement, or let's say, hey, Gina, your skirt and your outfit looks beautiful. Or I like very much your earrings, your dangling earrings, which I always like. That's a sincere appreciation of something that she wears with that intention. She wears that skirt, if she wears a skirt and not jeans like garbage nowadays, and the earrings to look good. And you just confirm that. You just validate that. Well, if she takes it the wrong way or she's an imbecile, she's going to go to the director or go to her supervisor or goes to whomever and will report you. Instead of saying, Emil, please don't, I'm okay. Thank you very much, but don't do it again. Now, if I do it again, then she can go to the supervisor and the supervisor will come and have a little talk to me for telling her what she wants me to tell her. Why do you think these guys dress like that? To be told they're ugly? Not to be told anything? No, they like to respect themselves and look good. Don't assess. Don't think that if I tell you I like your dangling ears, I want to fuck you right now. Maybe I do, but you don't know that. Okay? You make an assumption. And then your supervisor will come and talk to you on her assumption because she felt uncomfortable. Well, maybe I felt uncomfortable with your dress. I thought you were a whore. And with those dangling things. Maybe it's your fault. How about you come with your uniform like old times in China and other locations. We all use the same uniform. Or like in 1984 dystopian novel of George Orwell. How about that one? And we just, come over here. We just avoid all these reality things that make us human. So the same here. I mean, she can go and then let's say the director calls you. And you get reprimanded. Whoa, that's a policy. First thing she has to tell you. That's the next step. Please, Emil, I don't like that. Okay, now if I continue, then she goes to the next step. She reports me to my supervisor or search supervisor. That's the next step. Now the supervisor comes and notifies me and warns me. Now if I continue, then it goes higher a little bit. And then again, then I receive a little letter and on and go until you get whatever. These imbeciles decide that you harass the poor dangling skirt woman. So the same here. You jump to the National Guard already. What about the security? Are they destroying anything? Destroying property? Disrupting? Okay, what's the policy over there for Columbia University? Then what's the next step? Security. Your security, your police. I know there's in-campus police. That should deal with that if it's illegal. Next one, you go maybe to the police. I don't know, township police, whatever takes care of the Columbia in New York. And then you go to whatever other things. And then you go, if things grow, you go to the National Guard. If you got, I don't know, 50,000 college students over there protesting or demonstrating. And then you go further. Don't just drop atomic bomb, destroy those guys in Columbia University. Is that how it goes? It seems to me. And besides, are these guys here? Let me just go. These guys are. My point is, don't jump so high when you were not even asked to jump. Why are you so concerned and so fast, so quickly concerned with this issue? All right. Only about this issue. I have a cat behind, and the cat is gonna fly over everything here. Let me adjust. All right, go behind. No, don't play with my hand now. He wants to play bored. I'm his toy. Yeah, not that kind of toy. So, freedom of speech. Now, it's just seems to me that is a very much a double standard in their swift call for action. So let's go to these guys here. The nascent pogroms. Wow, I'm quoting. At Columbia have to stop today before our, yeah, it's true, it's your Jewish brethren sit for Passover Seder tonight. If Eric Adams won't send the New York Police Department and Kathy Baba won't send the National Guard, not, all right, Joe Biden has a duty to take charge and break up these mobs. These mobs, they're mobs. Cotton posted on X, and they will get campaign donations for that one. So, and again, calls for National Guard or federal troops to intervene on Columbia's campuses in reminiscence of his call for President Biden to send the troops to break up protests that spread across the country after George Floyd murder 2020. So, Cotton at that time was still normal, all right? But it seems like it's not. And you can't compare, first, you can't compare. They put it together, but it's not the same thing, right? It's not the same thing. Now, the protesters with the George Floyd, they were not the Columbia University protesters. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. How many people died in the protests? Mostly peaceful protests. So don't give me that garbage. I watch videos, and I watch videos. I saw videos at Columbia University. I watched videos at University of Michigan. I watched videos at Yale. I watched videos in George Floyd's, and it's not the same. Burning and destroying property, and people were murdered. So don't put these things together. But so sensitive, Mr. Cotton and Mr. Hawley. Let me show you the next article, which is the same thing. And then their faces. Right here. This is Mr. Cotton. Okay, there he is. And there you go. They have to do it. And again, they jump to pogroms. No, we're not going to watch you. Okay, screw you. Right. They're programs. Already. Now this is Josh Hawley. Right there for you. I said very smart. But intelligence is sometimes used in the wrong direction. And as I had an argument a long time ago with some relatives, the more intelligent you are, the more ways to hurt other people you can come up with. You like my English? Put the words in here. Chick, like just like that. So the more you know, the more options you got. The dumber you are, the more limited in hurting others you are. So a smart purple rain person can think of smarter, deeper, more hurtful reprisals than a dumbass. Dumbass, I'm gonna just kill you with a knife. The other one's gonna be smart. It's gonna start with your children. It's gonna start with your family. It's gonna start with your wife, your parents, and then maybe gets to you. You know, easier, and they are much deeper. Now, this is Senator Hawley, and this is Senator Cotton. Right there. Let me show you his picture. They fell a long time ago, and I saw them with Ukraine as well. When they spoke about Ukraine, they were more interested in making sure they got donations than really doing what we, the American people, sent them over there for. So here it is, my friends, so sensitive. So yes, and then they will give us a few examples from the past, like we don't have our examples for us. Somehow our examples are not as important for Mr. Cotton and Mr. Hawley as other examples, okay? No, scalping people is not no, don't use that. Scalping, no. And others, right? Here is, my friends, as I said, use those things. The real religious question, and the other one is about the Middle East and so on. From there, from the Middle East, you can expand to the Western world. Why? Because it's a big connection. They're overlapping. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.